I'm in Salad and I saw Star Trek the original series, This Side of Paradise. It is directed by Ralph Sinesky, written by DC Fontana and Nathan Butler. And if you haven't seen this episode, I will spoil it for you. This episode starts with following the USS Enterprise and going to a specific planet. This specific planet has like these rays that are... they're not the best for humans. I mean, the thing that does, it kind of deteriorates at a human. You can live there for a while, but like, how can anyone live here? And we have these settlers who have been living here for like several years now. And it's like, how did they do it? So we have the USS Enterprise. They're orbiting this planet, and we have a couple people beamed down, including Spock and McCoy. And what's fun is we have Spock is smiling, actually. He meets this girl who he knew. He knew this chick. And then now he's on the planet's surface and he's sprawling around. He's like, oh yeah, amazing, haha, yeah, I'm Spock. Oh yeah, I'm Spock, here I am. And what's fun about him is the fact is that he is insistent on staying on this planet's surface, and he even gets to the point where Kirk is calling him. He's like, yo, what's up, where you is? He's like, I'm not gonna tell you where I am. I'm like, no, Spock, what's wrong with you? You're usually not the type to disobey your captain. That's interesting. So he's disobeying him, and then friggin' McCoy is also weirdly happy, and he's disobeying Kirk. And then what's interesting, we take this plant up, right? There's a plant from the planet, we take up to the Enterprise, and that plant has spores which spreads through the entire ship, and so everyone is affected. And everyone is saying they don't want to do what Kirk wants to do. Well, Kirk is instructing them what to do. They don't want to do what Kirk is instructing them to do. They'd rather just go down to the planet's surface, which is, by the way, dangerous. They have these rays that is still unexplained. Why are these people still alive? And we have all the officers just frolicking. They're just having a good old joyous time. And I'm like, oh, okay. I feel like there's something weird happening here. What's up with this plant? And why? There's something has to be wrong with this plant. I feel like Kirk is the only person not being affected by the plant as at this moment in the episode. Everybody else is like, oh, we're happy, oh yeah. Kirk over here is like, man, I have a mutiny on my hands. Everyone is disrespecting me. How am I going to earn back their respect? Something up is weird. Something weird is happening. This doesn't just happen. Just my entire ship disobeys me. No, something weird is happening. And I suspect it's these plants, and as soon as we get a good look at Kirk doing a good captain's log, he's like, man, I lost my ship. And then he gets planted. He gets a bunch of, it's like the plants explode. Whenever you got the plants exploding on you, then they give some sort of nice particle. And Kirk's like, I'm starting to feel it. I understand why everybody's cool. Okay, I'm gonna go down to this planet's surface. Let me pack up. So he packs up, he goes to the transporter room. It seems like he's really basking in how empty everything is. It's fun to see how empty everything is. It's just the captain there, nobody else is there. Even a freaking Ahura, she messed with the communication system so it could only communicate with the planet's surface and no one else. And I'm like, oh my goodness, everybody's sabotaging this ship. It's just so they can all have a happy time on this planet. And it's weird how everybody's having a happy time on this planet. And there's also this guy, right? They first land down. I'm totally doing this out of order. My bad. But they first land down and there's like people there to greet them. And it's like, there shouldn't be anyone here. This planet should be dead. What's up with everything? And then what's interesting is this guy keeps on insisting throughout the rest of the episode, we don't need to beam up. We don't need to beam up to your ship. Even though the captain has orders that he has to bring these dudes on the ship. He has to bring everybody from this planet onto the ship. He says he's got his orders, but everyone's defying his orders. And so he's alone. Okay, let's go back to the transporter room. So he's alone in the transporter room, and it makes me think, oh, he knows how to do everything on the ship. But, you know, there's people who are specifically really good at doing it. So he has those people do it. So he knows how to use a transporter. Then he, like, has some sort of strong emotion. And then he realizes, oh, the strong emotion, that stops the spores. Okay, I have a devious plan. I gotta beam Spock up here. Hey, Spock. Ring, ring, ring. Hey, Spock. Come up here. I just realized that I'll be the only one on the ship. I mean, there will be no other way for anyone to come up on the ship if I'm the person that beams down. Hey, Spock, could you come here and grab something? Spock beams up. He's away from his lady friend. He beams up, and then Kirk is insane, but also makes sense. He just starts insulting Spock, and it takes a while for Spock to be like angry. But there's a moment where Spock just like is in fury. He's like, he could see it in his face, the moment from like, what is going on, to like pure rage. He's like, and then he's incredibly strong. He's stronger than a human. He's able to bend this metal thing that Kirk has, and I'm like, oh boy, he just got him in like a fit of rage. But that's what Kirk wanted. He wanted Spock in a fit of rage so the spores wouldn't affect him. So basically, if you have a strong emotion, the spores will not affect you at all, actually. So that's good news. That's a good thing to know. So I like about this episode, now we have Spock and now we have Kirk are working together. They're like, oh, that's what it is, the spores. The spores for the plants is making us act weird. Plus, the plants are absorbing those rays that are poisonous to humans, that would normally decay the humans. I think they're making this drug that makes people happy whenever they're near the plants. So that's the explanation for what's happening on the planet's surface. And so we got Spock, he's like, oh, no more emotions. And then the chick that he was with requests to beam up. She does. And then they break it off because Spock is like, I'm actually not in love with you right now. I know we loved each other 6 years ago. We were in love with each other or something. We had to rendezvous, but now Spock has responsibilities and Spock is the same old cold, logical being that he is. And I prefer Spock to be that, not gonna lie. So then we have everybody else we gotta deal with. We got Bones. How are we going to deal with Bones? We got Bones on board, and we're getting slowly everybody on board. We figure out the issue with the plants, what's making everybody like want to not work, and we're just figuring out that these dudes can just like survive here. Weird. I do like they have some sort of device that makes it so people just start fighting with each other. All the crew members just start fighting with each other and get rid of the influence of the spores. And now they suddenly want to work and they want to go back to the Enterprise. And so this plan all worked. Doing an arena is really funny. An arena for all of the people of the USS Enterprise, just fighting, brawling each other. I know it's very necessary in this specific instance, but like, that's just a fun idea. I would like to play a game where everybody on the crew is just fighting each other. It's like one big old Mortal Kombat. They all leave. And then Spock, his like final word for the episode is, being on that planet's surface, I was finally happy. For the first time in my life, I'm finally happy. I'm like, oh, nice. And also Kirk is like, I don't think humans are meant for vacation. I feel like humans are the type to get antsy and kind of directionless. If we don't have any occupation of any kind, we kind of just get agitated as a human species. I'm sure you could probably relate. If you're not doing anything, I know for a fact if I'm not doing anything, I go insane. I have to be doing something with my life. So I'm pretty sure you got the same feeling too. As human, it's like a human thing. It's a human condition thing. Human condition. And I like that this episode touches up on it. So overall, I really like the episode. There's like so many sides of people that I see during this episode, including Spock. I didn't see him as a person who could get emotional. I mean, there's other episodes where he does get emotional, but like this one, he's with a lady and he's on a planet which the spore of the plants there are affecting him. So I like seeing this side of Spock, and I like seeing this side of everybody. And I like seeing the fight between Kirk and Spock. That was pretty entertaining. I didn't think I'd get to see it, but I did get to see it. And nobody is at all going to get injured career-wise or physically. Spock's like, hey, you know, I like assaulted you. And Kirk's like, yeah, it's whatever. I did this on purpose so you could get free from the spores. It's okay. You won't have to get any charges. So overall, I really like this episode. This was a fun, solid episode. This is more favorite than the other ones. There's a lot more going on in this episode, and there seems to be a lot more, like, depth to the experience. Like, just a lot of humanity within this episode. It just oozes humanity, and that's what I like about this episode a lot. I gotta give this episode, it's a solid, like, 8 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. The platform really likes that. If you want to fast track a movie review, you can do that for $20 Dinos at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you like to help support the daily grindiness of all them daily movie reviews, go to this link tree, find the way you can help support the daily grind of all them daily movie reviews. So you go here. And until next time, mint salad sauce. See you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits. Boop. Beam me up.